sheds its bark in uneven strips. Each strip is at a different stage of aging, with fresh green layers beside older blue, purple, orange, and red layers, creating a living rainbow across the trunk. Wow, what a unique and beautiful tree. This tree is called the live oak. The live oak is one of the longest living and most iconic trees in North America, often surviving for 200 to 500 years on average. Native to the southeastern United States, it is known for its massive twisting branches that can spread over 100 feet wide, creating a broad canopy of shade. It gets its name by being semi-evergreen. It keeps its leaves through the winter until new growth pushes them off in the spring. Many live oaks are draped in Spanish moss because the tree's wide canopy provides the perfect place to catch sunlight, moisture, and nutrients from the air. Despite its appearance, Spanish moss does not take nutrients from the tree and does not harm a healthy live oak. A mature live oak can absorb over 50 gallons and has a relatively short lifespan of 25 years on average. It's beautiful. Look at this interesting tree. It's called the Dragon's Blood Tree. The Dragon's Blood Tree is a truly unique tree found only on the island of Socotra, a remote island off the coast of Yemen in the Arabian Sea. They can grow up to 30 feet tall and live for up to 500 years. The Dragon's Blood Tree has a unique upside-down umbrella shape that helps it survive in its dry environment. Its thick branches spread outward to create a dense canopy of pointed green leaves. This shape allows the tree to collect rain, dew, and moisture from fog, which then travels down to its roots. Its strange appearance makes it highly efficient at surviving in extreme conditions. It gets its name from its sap. When you cut the trunk or branches of these trees, the sap flows out as a liquid and then solidifies into a dark red resin as it dries when exposed to oxygen. This is what we know as dragon's blood. It is the result of a natural defense mechanism where the tree releases its sap when the bark is damaged. The resin forms a protective barrier over the wound, inhibiting the entry of microorganisms and insects. Wow, that is so fascinating. These cool-looking trees are called bald cypress, sometimes known as swamp cypress. The bald cypress is native to the southeastern United States. It thrives in wet, waterlogged environments, including swamps, bayous, floodplains, and riverbanks. Although many conifers stay green year-round, the bald cypress is a unique deciduous conifer, meaning it sheds its needles in the fall. This is where it gets the name bald cypress. Before the needles fall, they transform into beautiful shades of tan, cinnamon, and fiery orange. term for the knee is pneumatophore. They grow upward from the tree's underground roots and rise above the water or soil. Scientists believe they help the tree survive in swampy environments by allowing air to reach its submerged roots, while also providing extra stability in soft, muddy ground. Bald cypress trees are true giants of the wetlands, often reaching heights of around 150 feet, with massive trunks several feet wide. Their towering forms, twisted roots, and moss-covered branches make them one of the most iconic trees found in southern swamps. Trees build themselves in a remarkable way. They take in carbon dioxide from the air and release oxygen back into the world, using the carbon to help grow. Just beneath the bark is a very thin layer of living cells called the cambium. It doesn't use the carbon dioxide directly. Instead, it relies on sugars made in the leaves through photosynthesis, a process that uses sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide. The cambium uses these sugars in a couple ways. It uses them for cell division, creating new layers of wood on the inside and new bark on the outside. It uses sugars as energy to keep its living cells active and growing. It turns sugars into materials like cellulose, which becomes the to grow wider each year. Inside is the sapwood, the younger living wood that carries water and minerals from the roots to the leaves. At the center is the heartwood, the oldest wood in the tree. Although it no longer transports water, it provides strength, support, and stability to the trunk. So, how long do trees actually live? Like animals, a tree's lifespan depends on usually less than 30 feet tall. But in lower areas with more water, they can grow up to 60 feet tall. They survive freezing temperatures, strong winds, rocky limestone soil, evolutionary adaptations to the Mediterranean climate. They feature tough, waxy leaves that minimize moisture loss, and specialized tissues that efficiently store water and nutrients during long, dry seasons. Large olive trees produce on average about 400 pounds of olives annually. Older and larger trees can produce more. It's estimated that there are about 865 million olive trees in the world today. Olives are incredibly healthy fruit. Yes, fruit. They are a distant cousin of the peach. They contain antioxidants, healthy fats, and fiber. Olives are harvested from trees and must be vinegar or salt water brined, dry cured with oil, or fermented before they can be edible. So fascinating. Also, I do love olives myself. My favorite are the garlic stuffed ones. Scientists have identified around 60,000 tree species on Earth, and they estimate that about 10,000 more are still waiting to be discovered. What are the top 3 countries with the most tree species? Brazil, Colombia, and Indonesia. Let's have a look at some of these trees. This is a Brazil nut tree. Isn't it cultivation and sale of Brazil nuts and their offshoots also provides an important source of income for many forest-based communities. Have you ever tried Brazil nuts? They're delicious and healthy. This is the Quindio Wax Palm, Colombia's national tree. Is the world's tallest palm species. Found in the misty, high-altitude Cocora Valley, it can soar up to 200 feet into the air. Although we call them palm trees, palms are not true trees. They are actually large woody plants, classified as monocots, making them more closely related to grasses and bamboo. Unlike true trees, palms do not produce real wood, bark, branches, or tree rings. Instead, it is made of strong, fibrous strands that support it. The trunk does not get wider as it grows, and what looks like bark is actually old leaf bases left behind. Palms also do not have true branches. Their leaves grow from a single crown at the top. If that growing point is damaged, the entire palm can die. The wax palm is the tallest palm species in the world, and the tallest known monocot plant on Earth. Its smooth gray-white trunk is covered in a protective layer of natural wax, giving it its name, wax palm. Each year, old leaves fall away and leave dark rings on the trunk, helping scientists estimate its age. These slow-growing palms can live for more than 200 years. Quindio wax palms produce large, hanging clusters of small, round, orange-red berries. Each berry measures about 1.6 to 2 centimeters in diameter and is a vital food source for numerous rare bird species, including the endangered yellow-eared parrot. Those are some interesting facts about palms that I didn't know. The Kepel Tree is a rare tropical centuries, the fruit was reserved for Javanese royalty. It was used as a natural oral and body deodorant, as people believed eating it caused sweat, urine, and breath to smell like violets or sandalwood. The tree can grow up to 80 feet tall, producing fist-sized fruits. Today, while the trees are no longer restricted to palaces and can be grown by the public, the fruit remains extremely rare and is not commonly found in markets. The golden brown to orange flesh has a smooth, creamy texture and a sweet, tropical flavor, frequently compared to a blend of mango, papaya, and coconut. Kepel fruits are a good source of vitamin C and A. Within Indonesian herbal medicine, the orange pulp of the fruit is consumed to help flush out the urinary tract. What an interesting fruit tree. Did you know trees can communicate with and care for one another? It's true. Trees in a healthy forest can support one another through what is often called the wood wide web. This is an underground network made up of roots, soil, and fungi. The fungi grow very fine threads called hyphae, which spread through the soil and connect with tree roots, linking trees together. Through this network, trees can share water, nutrients, and even sugars. If one tree is struggling, nearby trees can send it what it needs to help it survive. In this relationship, both benefit. The fungi receive sugars from the trees, and the trees receive nutrients and water from the fungi. Some of these trees act like hubs in the network, often called mother trees, connected to many younger trees around them. These older trees can even send extra carbon to seedlings, especially those that are closely related, helping them to grow and survive. Trees can also communicate in other ways. If one is being eaten by insects, quantity rather than diversity. Number 1. Russia. Russia isn't only the biggest country by land area, it also has the largest number of trees. The overall size of the forest regions in Russia is approximately 8,249,300 square kilometers. Wow, that is almost 45% of the country's total land area. Number 2. Canada. That's where my cubby is. The overall size of the Canadian forest region is 40% of the country's total land area. I love that about Canada. And number 3, Brazil. The Amazon is the world's largest tropical rainforest, and almost 60% of it lies within Brazil. Those are some cool facts about trees. surprisingly powerful. Although beneficial in nature, willow roots can spread far beyond the tree itself. They are known for lifting sidewalks, invading sewer lines, and clogging underground pipes. They've been useful for centuries. The flexible branches of willow trees have long been used to weave baskets, wicker furniture, and fishing traps. In some traditions, knocking on a willow tree was believed to bring good luck. Wow, what a graceful and beautiful tree. One of my favorites. This is the White Birch Tree, or sometimes called the Paper Birch Tree. The Paper Birch is a fast-growing deciduous tree native to the northern forests of North America. It is best known for its striking white bark, which peels away in thin paper-like layers to reveal a coppery orange inner bark. The chalky white color comes from betulin. Betulin is a naturally occurring powdery substance found abundantly in the outer bark of birch trees. It acts as a built-in defense mechanism, protecting the tree from pests, extreme temperatures, and environmental damage. Scientific studies indicate that betulin has anti-inflammatory, antiviral, and antibacterial properties. It also promotes the migration of skin cells to accelerate wound healing. This natural compound makes the wood highly flammable, allowing it to burn hot even when wet. The waterproof bark has been used for centuries by indigenous peoples to build canoes, baskets, containers, and other everyday items. Because birch bark is highly waterproof, it doesn't decompose quickly on the forest floor, and was even used as a canvas for some of the earliest written records. That's so neat. The tree typically grows up to 90 feet tall and features oval, sharply toothed leaves that turn bright yellow in autumn. It has an average lifespan of 80 years. Just like maples, paper birches can be tapped in early spring. I didn't know this. The sap is consumed as a drink or boiled down into a rich, flavorful syrup. Paper birch is an important especially common throughout Canadian boreal forests. Known for its strong, long-lasting fragrance, it thrives in cool, moist, acidic soils. It's one of the most popular choices for Christmas trees. is native to Madagascar, one from mainland Africa, and one from Australia. Built to survive harsh environments, baobabs store enormous amounts of water in their thick trunks, helping them endure long, dry seasons. Their biggest threats include drought, flooding, lightning, elephants, and fungal diseases. These deciduous trees lose their leaves during dry periods, and their large flowers bloom at night, relying on bats for pollination. Wow, that is so cool. During droughts, elephants and other animals chew the bark to access the stored water. Baobabs are also deeply important to both wildlife and people. Animals like baboons and warthogs eat the seed pods. Weavers build their nests in the huge branches. And barn owls, mottled spine-tails, and ground hornbills roost in the many hollows. The hollowed interiors also provide homes to countless reptiles, insects, and bats. Humans utilize baobabs for many purposes, including shelter, ceremonies, food, medicine, fiber, juices, and beer. While many people know of the Baobab Tree, not many people know that it has a eventually growing into massive independent trees. Banyan trees are incredibly long-lived, with many surviving for several centuries. The largest known example, the Great Banyan in India, covers about 4.5 acres, despite its original trunk no longer existing. Their dense canopies provide extensive shade and create habitats for countless